Hello, and welcome to Essential Alchemy. Alchemy is defined as the power or process that changes or transforms something in a mysterious or impressive way. My hope is that the information in this podcast can help you transform your mood, your energy, physical health, or even connect some dots to help you shift your mental or emotional state. I'm your host, Jodi Cohen, a best-selling author, award-winning journalist, functional practitioner, lifelong learner, and founder of Vibrant Blue Oils, a company that sells proprietary blends of high-quality organic or wild-crafted essential oil remedies designed to help you return to your ideal mental, physical, and emotional state. You can find out more about me and my company at vibrantblueoils.com. And with that, let's get started with today's episode. Hi, I'm Jodi Cohn, and I'm so excited to be joined by my friend Trina Felber. She's the founder and CEO of Primal Life Organics. As a registered nurse with a master's degree in anesthesia, Trina disrupted the beauty industry and exposed the hypertoxic personal care products poisoning us by big cosmetics. She started her natural dental and skincare company in 2008 and puts her nurse care into every product she makes. She is a multi-million dollar entrepreneur, go you, and the best-selling author of Beauty's Dirty Secrets. She has made the Inc. 5000 list 5 years in a row and has been featured in Dr. Oz, Paleo Magazine, ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox affiliates, and on hundreds of podcasts worldwide. Thank you. Welcome.
Hey, Jodi, thank you. I can't wait to mouth off with you because we've done
I
it
know.
before, but not on camera, really.
I know, I know. Well, one thing I heard you speak at Paleo FX a couple of years ago, and you did this amazing talk about kind of the mouth microbiome and just spoke about it in a way that I'd never heard before. So I'd love for you to share some of, the health benefits of the mouth microbiome.
Absolutely. Yeah. Most people don't realize. I don't know if you remember growing up or if you heard this growing up, but I did. I remember either my mom or the dentist saying, "Hey, brush your teeth. Good health starts inside your mouth." And I never really thought about what that meant. We just heard that saying, but nobody actually ingested it and was like, wait, what does that mean? Good health starts inside your mouth. What I've come to realize in my research is that if you don't have good health inside your mouth, that is exactly where good health stops for you because your mouth is directly linked to every other organ and aspect of your health internally. And if you have the wrong bacteria inside your mouth, bad bacteria inside your mouth, it's creating acids. It's creating plaque. Plaque is really a biofilm, and it's creating these acids that wear away at your enamel. So your enamel becomes really thin. Your teeth start to become really thin, and it also wears away and destroys your gum tissue. When your gum tissue starts to get worn away, you start to get these weak junctions between the cells, just like in your gut. You start to get these weak junctions where proteins and toxins can enter your system and cause inflammation internally. And the interesting thing about your mouth and your gum tissue, as opposed to when you drink or eat something, when you eat or drink something, your body has a protected mechanism called the liver, where toxins and things that aren't supposed to be in your body will go to your liver. Your liver will detox. It'll convert it to something that's water soluble so you can excrete it, or your gut will excrete it, your digestion will. But in your mouth, when you absorb toxins that you're exposed to all day long, whether it's food, drink, or the air that we're breathing, those toxins can get into your gum tissue. Once in your gum tissue, which is very loaded, it's got a lot of blood vessels in it, those toxins can enter your bloodstream. And when they enter your bloodstream, they enter it at a point that it travels throughout your body. So this inflammation then can travel throughout your body to your heart, to your brain, to your kidneys, to your everywhere, and cause problems. That's why your mouth isn't just linked to your heart disease. It's not just linked to early Alzheimer's. Your mouth is linked to infertility. It's linked to erectile dysfunction for men and women. diabetes, thyroid disease, all sorts of things.
That's amazing. And people talk about like metal amalgams and other toxins in the mouth, but they don't really talk about, just daily, your mouth has the wrong flora. Can you talk a little bit about how people, um, w- do's and don'ts, like what they
Yeah.
can,
How do you know? Well, first off, how do you know if you have the wrong bacteria inside your mouth?
yeah,
Right? Because most people don't know. But I can tell you that if you wake up with bad breath or you suffer from bad breath at all, even once throughout the day, that you have the wrong bacteria inside your mouth. We've been wearing masks. A lot of people have still been wearing face masks, right? Jody's laughing.
yeah,
Face masks will increase the bad bacterial count inside your mouth. So even if you're healthy and you're eating good, because of the environment, it's all about the environment inside your mouth and what you're using. The problem with our products that were being sold on the market is that they are acidic and they are causing more bacteria, the wrong bacterial growth inside our mouth. So you think that they should be good. You were being sold that they're cleaning our teeth, they're killing all of our bacteria. What they're really doing is they're causing cavities and gum disease because of the way they're formulated. They're acidic by nature. Whenever there are acids inside your mouth, whether it's from what you're brushing your teeth with, mouthwash, or what you're eating, because there's plenty of foods that are acidic. Good
coffee
food,
is completely
yeah,
acidic.
yeah, completely. So good foods can be acidic. Red meat is acidic. Coffee, tea, red wine. Anytime your mouth is acidic, those minerals that are inside your enamel. I have a little thing here, my little prop. Those minerals that are inside your enamel come out. So you lose minerals with acid exposure. The wrong bacteria inside your mouth. And those bacteria create acid. That's how they survive. That's how they live and procreate. Just like cancer cells, they love the acidic environment. So they create an acidic environment so that they can keep procreating and destroy your good cells. So that's the same thing that's happening inside your mouth. Bacteria that is bad causes bad breath. So anyone that suffers from bad breath, we were brainwashed into believing bad breath is okay. We just have to brush with something that's got triclosan and SLS and all the bad stuff in it and use mouthwash that has alcohol in it and we'll be fine. And the opposite is true. Bad breath is not okay. It's a signal to you that there's an imbalance between the good guys in your mouth and the bad guys are winning. And if you don't do something to stop that, you are going to be losing minerals, denaturing your teeth, and you're going to be wearing away your gum tissue. And it's super easy to stop the process. We just have to stop using the wrong products.
Yeah, it's a vicious cycle.
Totally. Totally. And so mouthwashes don't work because they're killing your good bacteria. And the harsh ingredients in most toothpaste don't work. Even natural products, that you have to be very careful. Even natural products, while they're better, they're not doing what you really need them to do to create this health. What you want to create is this environment inside your mouth that is, think of a garden that's really flourishing, as opposed to the garden that has fungus and it has like bugs and it's just, you're not getting good fruit. You want the garden that's like got fruit galore. So what we need to do is get the good bacteria growing. The best way to do that is to so my story, let me go into my story a little bit because this tells you a little bit about how I figured this all out. Because as a nurse, I got none of this in nursing school. Doctors and nurses don't get taught. And I'm even going to go as far as to say most dentists don't get taught what I'm going to teach you. Most dentists have no idea what I'm going to tell you and how it really works to heal teeth. And primarily because Dr. Weston A. Price is basically who I consider the founder of dentistry.
Okay.
And he discovered, Dr. Weston A. Price was a dentist in the early 1900s, and he discovered the link between sugar and cavities.
Well,
And
he
he was,
didn't he start looking at people who had healthy teeth and figuring out what they did right?
yeah, so he would look at people in the third world countries And he would notice that their teeth and their jaws, like their jaw bones were prominent, very big. All of their teeth fit inside their mouth. They weren't getting them pulled because they didn't fit. They had big teeth and they were white. And when you take another look, like look deeper than that, they're not obese. They
Yeah.
don't suffer from diabetes or heart disease. And they're relatively healthy. And so he was like, why? What's going on? So he discovered that the link between diet and dental health is extremely important. And then dental health to overall health. That's the link between overall health is inside your mouth. So let me go back a little bit. So when my daughter, Mia, was 2 years old, she had a molar that came in that had this natural, what looked like a cavity. And so my husband, we took her to the dentist, and the dentist told us that in utero, when that tooth was being developed, I must have had some sort of infection or viral infection or stress or something where when that tooth was being developed, it had a natural defect, which was a natural cavity. I had no idea that could happen. But he said that the defect was pretty significant. He said most likely the tooth was going to have to be pulled within 1 year. But his resolution was, let's put a temporary filling in it. The temporary filling will be a Band-Aid. It'll fall out every 2 to 3 months. And every time it falls out, we'll just decide if we put another temporary filling or if we pull the tooth. So as I was leaving the dental office, well, I'll never forget. He says, don't worry, mom. He knew I was upset. I know that every tooth with a meridian is connected to an organ. And as soon as you pull the tooth, that connection is severed. And I didn't want that to happen. So I was upset. And he said, don't worry, mom. We put a temporary filling in it. Now we just hope for the best. And I thought, there is no way that this mom is going to hope for the best. So
Yeah.
I went home, started researching, and that's when I found Dr. Wesley Price and all of his research. And I came away with 3 takeaways from him. 3 takeaways for a healthy mouth. You have to have an alkaline environment inside the mouth. You have to brush with things that are alkaline to neutralize the acids and to put minerals back in the teeth. Remember, when you're eating something that's acidic or the bacteria is creating acids, it's wearing away at your enamel and it's causing damage to your gum tissue. But during an alkaline environment, your good bacteria thrive. Alkalinity kills the bad bacteria, breaks down plaque. It can actually destroy that hard coating, the plaque, and it's going to put the minerals. If minerals are present, minerals will go back into your teeth. So it must be alkaline. How to know if what you're using is alkaline? It has to, I say baking soda. Baking soda is the best indicator. It's food, it's food grade. We use it in baking. Baking soda is the best indicator that what you're brushing with is alkaline. The second thing that Dr. Wesley Price, when I did his research, I walked away saying, has to have minerals, has to be alkaline, has to have minerals. Because if I don't have minerals in what I'm brushing with, when it's alkaline, those minerals, if it's not alkaline and there's minerals, those minerals are either going to be, you're going to spit them out or you're going to ingest them and they're going to go all the way through your body and then you're going to dispose of them. But if it's alkaline, it has the right minerals, you'll be brushing those minerals right back into your enamel. So it has to have the right minerals. Your teeth are made up of calcium and phos primarily, but they also have manganese and silica and magnesium and many other minerals in them. They're primarily calcium and phos, but it's a lock and key. So if you lose a manganese mineral in a certain spot, you can't replace it with a calcium. You can't replace it with a fluoride. You can only replace it technically so that it's strong. You can only replace it with the mineral that was lost. So clay, when I was reading his research, clay is what I found that has minerals in the ion form and a plethora of minerals, not just calcium and phos. It's got plenty of calcium and phos, but it has a lot of other minerals that are needed by your teeth to keep them strong. So I use a blend of 3 different clays. The 3 clays then have all the minerals. So while you're brushing, you've got 3 clays, a blend of baking soda, and I now added hydroxyapatite. That's a new ingredient that is the same composition as your enamel. So it is calcium and phos And brushing with that, along with 3 clays and baking soda, is an environment that's going to allow your good bacteria to take over, kill off the bad stuff, and then put the minerals back in your tea. And then I make it either peppermint or spearmint, or we flavor ours with essential oils. And the essential oils help support good bacteria and kill off bad bacteria. They help whiten as well. All of this will help whiten your teeth, rebuild your enamel, and then your good microbiome. When you have a healthy microbiome inside your mouth, you don't wake up with bad breath. Like, you get that balance back so that you don't have to worry about, you know, gargling with alcohol or using breath mints, which do the opposite of what they're supposed to, and gum and things like that.
You know, it's really funny. I don't have any cavities, but my gums are like a horror movie, to the point where my dentist wanted to refer me out to a periodontist. And so I wish hadn't thought of you. I had heard this company, Cellcore, has this binder biotoxin, which is clay. And
Mhm.
someone said, just swish it around your mouth once a day and see if it works. My dentist couldn't believe, she was blown away. She's like, "I don't know what you've done," but you know how they, like, measure and they're like 3, 4, whatever, like, how
Yeah,
bad your
yeah.
gums are?
Well, the last part of the equation, so there were the 2, the alkaline and it's got minerals. The last part is detox. So your
Oh,
gum tissue is loaded with toxins. Like, when we think about what our mouth is exposed to, it's exposed to everything. And heavy metals and, especially tap water, if we are exposed to any tap water at all, tap water has a lot of heavy metals. It has a lot of drug waste in it. But the environment that we're breathing, we're exposed to so much, it can get into your gum tissue. Clay binds to those toxins and can pull them out so that your tissue can actually be clean, and then the healing can begin. Like, when you think about mucked up anything that's mucky, you can't heal very good. You can't heal. It's got to be cleansed. It's got to be clean. And then you can get more blood flow, and then detoxification can happen. They can get rid of the waste and more oxygen can be delivered. So when we're talking about gum tissue, the third part of that is the clay. But the other important aspect of your gums is making sure that you're giving them nutrients that they need. Your gum tissue is epithelial cells, so it's just like your skin on your hand or your body. But the difference is that the environment that your gums are in is alcohol, or is going to be acidic most of the time because the foods that we drink. Your saliva is supposed to keep your mouth more neutral, and it's supposed to protect, which is really our basic protective mechanism. Our immune system starts with our saliva.
and
Your
isn't that interesting? When you're sympathetic dominant, you have less saliva.
Right, 100%. Yeah. And your saliva, so the pathway of making nitric oxide,
Mhm.
your saliva, good bacteria in the mouth, and good bacteria in the gut. If those 3 things are not there, your nitric oxide production is almost non-existent. Your nitric oxide vasodilates, increases blood flow, increases oxygen. So think about your heart health, erectile dysfunction, infertility, brain fog, all of these things, your immune system, all of these things are dependent on nitric oxide. Everyone walking around with the mask on and bad breath is not producing adequate amounts of nitric oxide. You're going to start to see the fallout out of that, not just inside your mouth, but is your immune system's going to become depleted. And then you're going to end up with inflammatory problems that can, make their head as anything. It could be diabetes or thyroid disease or cancer, anything, So it's extremely important. The bacteria inside your mouth is extremely important, and we want to make sure. I do have, and Jodi, I'm going to send you one of these because we just revised them slightly. And I think you've got an older version, but this
Yeah.
is my LED teeth whitening system. And it does more than teeth whiten because of the lights. So it has a blue light, has 16 blue LED lights,
Oh,
16
it's like
red,
laser therapy for your mouth.
and then you can do both. You can kind of see both red and blue. Yes. So you put this in your mouth, and
Oh,
I'm going to talk you through what each one does. So let me
okay.
start with the red because you're talking about receding gums. So anyone with gums that are receding, when you go to the dentist, they say your gums, you've got the score, or bleeding gums. Bleeding gums are a sign that you're having issues, bacteria inside your gums. The red light therapy does the same thing for your gum tissue as red light therapy does for your skin. It's set at the wavelength or the nanometers appropriate for gum tissue. Let me turn it back on. But red light increases blood flow. So it's going to increase the diameter, which brings more nutrients and oxygen, and waste products can be delivered or removed, increases blood flow, reduces inflammation inside the gums, and also increases collagen production, which is also going to be what is probably lacking as your gums are receding. Your gums and your bone tissue, your jaw, both need collagen in order to be healthy. So the red light therapy, I tell people use red light if you have issues with your gums. The blue light is really cool for inside the mouth. So the bacteria that's harmful that causes bad breath, gum disease, and cavities has this little piece to it. Harvard did a study. They found that the bad bacteria inside the mouth has this little red part to it. I call it the heme part, that when exposed to blue light, this part explodes. And when it explodes, the bacteria die. So what's really cool is putting this inside your mouth. Light doesn't just hit the surface, but it can penetrate. So how cool is that it could penetrate between your teeth and into the pockets of your gum where the bacteria like to hide, and you could zap the bacteria and kill them with blue light. So that's what the blue light does. So if people have problems with plaque buildup or bacterial problems inside their mouth, bad breath, I tell them to start with just the blue light. If you are someone that everything seems pretty good, your teeth aren't sensitive, you don't have problems with plaque, you don't have gum issues, then I tell them to do the treatment that has both the red and the blue. So you'll get 16 blue, 16 red at the same time.
Cool.
But the gel that comes with it that I created is peroxide free, because peroxide's not a good thing for your mouth, especially if you have amalgam fillings, the silver fillings. There's a video, and I don't know if you've ever seen it, but there's a video on YouTube.
Oh, the off-gassing?
Yeah, the vaporizing too. And it
Yeah.
shows what peroxide does to silver fillings, and it vaporizes. So then you breathe that in, and now you're loading yourself with mercury. But
Yeah.
I created the gel. Our gel is made with an olive oil base, soothing to your gum tissue, soothing to your teeth, not going to hurt at all, even if your teeth are sensitive. And then it has 2 clays in it, so that while you've got the mouthpiece that's holding this on,
It's
the
like
gel.
oil pulling kind of.
It's very similar. 15 minutes. Yeah. The olive oil is going to help with the cleansing of the gum tissue and the cleaning of the teeth. The clays are going to help with remineralizing your teeth. Your enamel is the thickest part of your tooth. What happens as we get older is we lose so many minerals from the surface that we start to see the dentin. So your teeth become transparent and you start to see the dentin underneath, which is off color. It's usually grayish or bluish. And the way peroxide works is that it pulls the fluid, the moisture out of the dentin, because if it does that, it can make it more opaque and your tooth will look white. But what you've just done is destroyed the infrastructure. So now you have weakened the tooth inside here, and you are more prone to cavities and fractures of your tooth. So the best way to whiten your tooth is to remineralize the hard rough enamel part. The thicker your enamel, the whiter your tooth. So it has 2 clays in it and hydroxyapatite. So while you're doing your treatment, you're going to help. This will take time. This isn't an overnight thing. We'll remove surface stains very quickly, but rebuilding the enamel takes a little bit of time. So with the kit, let me see if I've got my box. With the kit, you get the teeth whitener device, and then I have 2 gels missing because I'm using them, but you get 10 gels that come with it and a charger. And each gel has 2 treatments. So you get 20 treatments. We recommend doing 5 treatments a week. They're 16-minute treatments. The light goes off after 15 or 16 minutes. 15-minute treatments 5 times a week for 4 weeks. And then after that, we have the gels that you can purchase and do 2 treatments a week for life to keep your teeth and your gums healthy. And you can choose red light only, blue light only, or a combination, just depending on what your needs are at that moment.
How much is the kit?
I'm going to give you a special offer. on the website, the kit is $550,
Oh,
way less than what you would pay in a dental office for
yeah.
peroxide. But I'll give Jodi a link and be sure to click through her link because you'll get 60% off. So you'll be able to buy the kit for $199.97.
That is a deal. I love you. I really want to land on what you were saying is that a lot of these cosmetic processes, you look better, but you're actually deteriorating your health. What this is doing is boosting your health and also improving the
Yeah.
physical appearance.
Yeah, totally. You look better for a very short time. You look
Yeah.
better for a little bit of time, but then, your teeth might look white, but you're starting to get sick from the ramifications of it. And then ultimately, like with peroxide and things that are leaching minerals, y- your teeth are going to eventually start to break or chip, or you're going to end up with cavities and root canals and all sorts of issues like that as well.
Yeah, and it just goes downhill from there. I'm curious. I'm happy to be like a guinea pig for this because I know I know how close I am to the edge of my, gums bleeding. I'm happy to try this and see if it helps restore. Like I would be thrilled if I could rebuild gum tissue.
Yeah, totally. I'll send you my LED so then you can, tell everybody
Yeah.
how you're doing. And then my other one is the dental detox kit I'll send you. And I know you've used my tooth powder and stuff, but this is the kit that I put together. I always got asked, where do I start? What do I use? So I put together an entire kit that has everything you need for 60 days. And I always tell people, please don't use anything that's not in this box unless it's the LED. Because if you use another brand, even if it's a natural product, a natural brand, many brands don't formulate their products the way that I formulate
Yeah,
mine.
like proms, they
Yeah.
seem because they don't have fluoride, but
But one of the big no ingredients is glycerin. Glycerin is in so many toothpaste. It's in regular toothpaste, but it's also in natural toothpaste. And glycerin, what it does is it puts like a saran wrap coating on your tooth, so you
oh,
can't get minerals in them. It literally puts a saran wrap coating. It desensitizes the tooth, so you don't know that you're losing minerals. Sensodyne uses something else, but it's similar. It's an ingredient it's not going to hurt you. You could probably swallow glycerin and you'll be fine. It's not toxic, but it's detrimental to your tooth. So that's why natural companies will put it in there. It makes your teeth feel smooth and it makes your teeth feel not sensitive. But the problem is you're not going to get minerals in here. You're not going to be helping your tooth at all for the long term. So what happens when you start using a product like mine, if you were using a product that has glycerin, it will erase the glycerin. And if you have areas that are mineral depleted, your sensitivity might go up slightly. So, what I tell people to do is just take a little bit, this is the larger size of it, but take a little bit of the powder, dip it on your finger, and then just place it anywhere where you might have a sensitive tooth. You could do this, Jody, too, just putting it on your gum tissue,
yeah,
like
that's a great idea.
just a little bonus.
Talk
And then
about
it'll help remineralize it faster.
talk about tongue scraping. I do that. I love it, but I'm just curious, like, tell people the benefits.
Yeah, tongue scraping is amazing. If you're not doing it, then you're just basically leaving a flower bed of bacteria. Basically, think of your tongue as a flower bed or a garden. And if you don't get rid of the stuff that's growing on top of it, then your taste buds, which are what makes you taste things, will never be able to function properly. You'll never get the best benefit. But that white coating on your tongue is the bacteria that is bad. It's going to create acid. So even if you're brushing and you're doing everything right, you're brushing and flossing and putting good oil on your gum tissue and doing an LED. If you're not scraping your tongue and you have a white coating, that is creating acid. So you're still going to have that acid mouth. This is the reason that masks over your mouth all day long creates a problem, is that it creates that coating on your tongue. And then that branches out into your gum tissue. So scraping it takes, I would say, I've never really timed it, but I would say between 5 and 10 seconds to scrape your tongue.
Even less. And I always do it when I wake up. I don't. How often do you recommend doing it a day?
If I can get you to do it once a day, I'm happy. Twice
Yeah.
a day is better. So I just tell people like, look, I'm not trying to overwhelm anybody. So if you just do it once a day, you are better than not doing it. If you do it twice a day, it's literally three wipes
Yeah.
on your tongue.
I brush my teeth and then I do it. And I really like it.
Yeah. And that's what I tell people. Um, and I have a whole protocol. If anybody, so I'll give you the links for this as well. That way they can get a discount on the detox kit. If anyone is interested in getting the LED, you don't have to do both. You will ultimately get the opportunity to purchase this as well when you order the LED. Um, but the copper tongue scraper, it's a copper tongue scraper in here. And as long as you wipe it, so it's dry and not sitting in water, this tongue scraper will last you a lifetime.
Yeah.
You'll never have to replace that. So it's really cool. And then you'll get biodegradable floss picks as well. They're made with cornstarch. I'm very in tune to Mother Earth. She gives me what I need to put in my products. So I always try and give little back to her. So this is biodegradable. The bamboo toothbrush is biodegradable as well, with activated charcoal in the bristles to detox and cleanse a little bit more. And then the gum serum, which we kind of touched on, it's an olive oil. Oh, here it is. It's an olive oil base with 11 essential oils. You use this instead of mouthwash, and all you do is drop 1, 2, or 3 drops right on your finger. And I like to put it right on my gums, and then I'll get a little bit more and put it all over the tissues of my mouth and even on my tongue. I'll even do my tongue with it.
The one oil we might want to recommend something for the lymph, like our lymph oil or even
Yes,
castor oil, because
yes,
you're yelling fire up
mobilizing.
to the
Yeah,
healing, make sure that this can drain.
and you're mobilizing all those toxins. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally, totally. And I like your lymph and the adrenal. Those are like my 2 favorite. I'm like hooked on the adrenal.
So am I. So am I.
I don't know if I need it or not, but I still use it because I love it. I just love the smell.
We know it's really interesting. I do yoga every day and we always have balance. I've noticed if I smell it before the balance exercises, it's so much easier to kind of feel centered and grounded.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I love everything. Thank you so much for that amazing education on the mouth and what we should be doing. Please tell people how they can find more about you, learn more from you.
Primal Life Organics. I should come up so you can see my shirt.
Yeah, sure.
Primallifeorganics.com is the website. My support team, if anybody has any questions, you can reach out. It's support@primallifeorganics.com. And we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on most of the platforms. There's so many, but we're on most of the major platforms. Instagram and Facebook are probably our most interactive. But yeah, we're here for you. I'm here for you. I just want to help people understand, really, if you're taking care of the inside of your body, but you're not taking care of your mouth, you're never really going to be able to heal properly. So good health
And jumping
starts.
back to your original story about the dentist, let's just hope. There's a lot you can do. You don't need to hope. Like when my dentist was like, I think we need to send you to the periodontist. I'm like, well, what are they going to do? Are they really even going to fix it? No, they're just going to use sharper knives. I'm like, that does not sound fun. I have a better plan.
Did I tell you the end of that story? I can't remember.
Oh, no, wrap it up.
Oh, yeah. I always see, I forget the punchline. I forget can't forget the end. So the tooth that was supposed to be pulled within a year, my
Yeah.
goal when I started making my tooth powder, because the whole reason I made my tooth powder was for my daughter. So the whole goal was, if I can get that tooth to 1 year and 1 day, I win. I only
Yeah.
wanted to get it past 1 year. That tooth fell out naturally at the age of 12. And that original filling that was supposed to last 2 months lasted 10 years and was in that tooth. And her tooth had remineralized over that temporary filling to support it and prevent any bacteria from getting inside. So that tooth lasted the life of the tooth with the original filling still in place.
It's really funny. I have 2 baby teeth in my mouth. I'm 53.
Oh,
Um, I have not let them pull them, and I only have 1 wisdom tooth that they wanted to pull, and I'm like, "Let's just see it." It's totally fine. It grew in naturally.
yeah,
So, yeah,
yeah.
you know, everything is a starting point, and you have options.
Yeah, you do. You have options. And as long as you have knowledge, you can make the best decision. And that's what my goal is just let people understand, go home, look at what you're using if you're not at home, or pull out your toothpaste right now. And if it doesn't have baking soda, it doesn't have clay, hydroxyapatite, then you're missing those 3 components that really really you need to, and it's so easy. When I talk about like the mouth detox kit, people will tell me that their teeth are super sensitive. They've had sensitive teeth for years, 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 years. They'll use it for 3 days and their sensitivity's gone. And they can't believe it. They're like, oh my God, I've suffered for this with this for years. And my after 3 days. So it happens very quickly because the way it's formulated so that those minerals can get in. Otherwise, you're just
Exactly. Exactly. No, this is great. Thank you so much for your time and for your wisdom. This was fabulous.
well, thank you. And it was so good to see and chat with you again, Jody. I
Oh, I
missed
know.
chatting with you.
I miss you too. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this podcast empowered you with some useful information and takeaways. If you liked this episode, please consider sharing a positive review or subscribing. I would also love to offer you my free parasympathetic toolkit as a gift just for listening. It will teach you how to activate the most important nerve in your body to turn on your ability to heal. This free toolkit includes a checklist, a video, and a detailed guide. If this podcast prompted any questions, you can always find answers at my blog at vibrantblueoils.com or my book, Essential Oils to Boost the Brain and Heal the Body. Until next time, wishing you vibrant health.